Linda Evangelista was one of the world's most famous supermodels. She graced over 700 magazine covers during her career, made millions upon millions of dollars, and was once so powerful that designers would wait weeks or even months just to get a chance to dress her. So where is she now? Why has she disappeared from public view? And what really happened to the world's most famous supermodel? Welcome to our channel. And today we're answering the ultimate question. Whatever happened to Linda Evangelista? Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about all of our videos. Let's begin. 1. Opening hook. We'll open with an iconic montage of Linda Evangelista's most famous moments. The idea is to tease the mystery at the heart of this video. How did the world's most famous supermodel fall from the spotlight? 2. Early life in Canada. Linda Legla Evangelista was born on May 10, 1964, in the small town of St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada. Her mother, Angela, was an Italian immigrant who worked as a seamstress, while her father, Egidio Evangelista, was an auto worker. Growing up, Linda was exposed to both the hard work and determination of her mother and the traditional values and close-knit community of her father, his side of the family. From an early age, Linda knew she was different. She had always been interested in fashion and dreamed of becoming a model. However, she didn't dare tell her parents about her dream as they were very conservative and didn't think it was appropriate for women to work in the modeling industry. But despite their disapproval, Linda never gave up on her dream. She started taking small steps towards it by entering local beauty pageants. This allowed her to gain some experience in front of the camera and also gave her a chance to meet other people who were also interested in modeling. One of these people was a photographer named Joe, who took a liking to Linda and saw potential in her. He began taking photos of her and helping her prepare for a career in modeling. When Linda turned 16, she decided to take the plunge and move to New York City to pursue her modeling dreams. With Joe's help, she was soon signed to Elite Model Management, one of the top modeling agencies in the world. 3. Breakthrough in the 1980s. In the early 1980s, Linda's career began to take off. She was featured in major magazines such as Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and became one of the most sought-after models of the time. Despite her success, Linda was still struggling to make ends meet. She was living in a small apartment in Manhattan and working long hours for little pay. However, she was determined to make a name for herself in the industry, and she didn't let the hard times get her down. Then came the big break that Linda had been waiting for. In 1987, she was offered a contract with Elite Model Management in Paris, which was the biggest modeling agency in Europe. This was a huge opportunity for Linda, and she seized it with both hands. She moved to Paris and began working with some of the most prestigious designers in the world. Soon enough, Linda was making a lot of money and rubbing shoulders with the elite of the fashion industry. But she still remained humble and never forgot where she started from. She continued to work hard and smart, saving a portion of her earnings and investing them in properties in Canada and France. By the end of the 1980s, Linda had established herself as one of the top models in the world. She was in high demand and was featured in numerous magazines and on countless runways. But she knew that the competition was fierce and that she had to keep up her hard work if she wanted to stay at the top. 4. The birth of a supermodel. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, Linda found herself in the midst of a revolution in the fashion industry. This was a time when supermodels were just starting to emerge and become household names. Linda, along with Naomi Campbell, Christy Turlington, Cindy Crawford, and Claudia Schiffer, were dubbed the Big Five supermodels. They were not only beautiful and successful, but they were also smart and savvy businesswomen who knew how to capitalize on their fame. At the time, Linda was known as the chameleon of fashion because of her ability to reinvent herself in every shoot. She could go from being a sexy vixen to a wholesome girl next door to an edgy punk rock chick and everything in between. This versatility made her one of the most sought-after models of the time, and she quickly became a favorite among designers and photographers alike. It was during this time that Linda made the famous quote, "We don't wake up for less than $10,000 a day." This quote cemented her status as a supermodel and made her a target of adoring fans and curious onlookers alike. However, this is actually a myth. She was referring to how much designers were willing to pay her to wear their clothes at events like the Met Gala. And although there might have been a few instances where she woke up for less than $10,000, it was definitely not a rule. In fact, she was once paid $1 million to attend just one party. 5. signature look, and reinvention. As the years went by, Linda's signature look became more and more prominent in the fashion industry. Her strong features, sharp jawline, and voluminous hair made her stand out from the crowd, and she was soon in demand for magazine covers and runway shows. In fact, she graced over 600 magazine covers during her career, which is a record that still stands today. Designers like Gianni Versace and Karl Lagerfeld were particularly fond of Linda and often featured her in their collections. They appreciated her versatility and ability to bring a certain je ne sais quoi to their designs. But despite her success, Linda never forgot her roots. She remained down to earth and continued to work hard, knowing that the fickle nature of the fashion industry could change on a whim. 6. Linda and the 1990s fashion explosion. The 1990s were a fashion explosion, and Linda was right in the middle of it all. She dominated the catwalks alongside her fellow supermodel Naomi Campbell, Christy Turlington. The trio became a formidable force in the fashion world and were constantly in demand. Their presence at a fashion show or event was guaranteed to make it a sellout success. During this time, Linda also made an appearance in George Michael's music video for Freedom. 90. This further cemented her status as a supermodel and exposed her to a whole new audience. In the video, Linda appears alongside other top models of the time, including Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Christy Turlington, and Tatjana Patitz. They are shown removing their wigs and makeup, symbolizing a rejection of the unrealistic beauty standards that had come to define the fashion industry. The video was a huge hit and is still regarded as one of the greatest music videos of all time. For Linda, it was a defining moment in her career and a chance to be part of something bigger than herself. The 1990s were truly the golden age of supermodel culture, and Linda was at the very top of the pyramid. She was making millions of dollars, starring in music videos and gracing magazine covers. It seemed like nothing could stop her from achieving even greater things. 7. The personal costs of fame. But behind the glitz and glamour of the fashion industry, Linda was feeling the pressure of constant scrutiny. She was tired of being judged on her looks and demanded a higher standard of beauty. She knew that the cameras would catch every wrinkle and blemish, and she felt the need to be perfect all the time. But beneath the flawless exterior, Linda was struggling. She was lonely, insecure, and desperate for normalcy. The demands of the industry were taking a toll on her mental health, and she was starting to feel the effects of years of dieting and living a life that was far from normal. Although Linda was one of the most successful supermodels of all time, she knew that her career wouldn't last forever. She was already seeing the younger models coming up in the ranks, and she knew that it was only a matter of time before she would be replaced. She tried to stay relevant by reinventing herself and taking on new challenges, but she couldn't escape the fact that the fashion industry is a ruthless business. And no matter how hard she tried, she knew that her time in the spotlight was limited. What do you think of Linda Evangelista's story? Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any interesting videos. See you in the next one.